Wait for the TV to catch up here. Hope everyone's doing good. Hi, Ellen. Happy Wednesday. Should be just a minute here and we should be able to go. I hope you can hear me. Otherwise, I'll adjust my mic. Okay, I see the computer is loud. So, Ellen, can you hear me? I see that everything got caught up. So, we're going to go ahead and get started here in a minute. Hi, Kelly. How are you? Happy Wednesday. My hair down tonight, you guys. I can't believe it. I never do. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Hi, Donna R. All right, good. I sometimes I never know when I have their sound up the right way or not. And I always have all my stuff turned down so I don't hear an echo. So thanks. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know, you guys. All right, tonight, hi, Dean. We are going to go ahead and play with the Arctic Hugs cutting die. Um, this is the die of the month. It's super, super cute. Oh, Ellen, it is super cute. And if you can't tell, I had a little four-legged pup who decided to eat my die yesterday. Fortunately, it was still in the package. Hi, Karen. I have to get a different magnet, but I like to store mine on magnets that have adhesive backs, and I stick them on there, and then I can attach them. But I need a little bigger one for this one. I did already pre-die cut everything out, so you wouldn't have to watch me do that. I've got that put aside, but this is the die of the month. And I was inspired by a video I watched yesterday on YouTube by, her name is Mindy Egan. I don't know if you followed her before, but she made a card gift tag set that I thought would be fun. Hi, Christy. That would be fun to kind of go and kind of by taking her inspiration and making my own thing here. So first thing we're going to do is I have a bunch of lunch bag cardstock cut out. We're going to go ahead and do some ink blending. So this is the polarized stencil. And I did put Pixie spray on it. I finally got my Pixie spray in. So hopefully, just going to check it here, make sure it. You've met her, Michelle? I have not, but she's got a great voice. And I just happened to be at lunch yesterday, laying down on the couch, recovering from my crafty weekend. And I watched it. And when I knew I wanted to play with this stamp set, I thought we would kind of go off her, and I would use hers. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Cherie. I'm going to go ahead. I pixie spray and I like to put a cloth over it and kind of see, look at that. We're going to put some more pixie spray on it. I didn't get enough. And actually, we'll probably get a blending buddy out here too. So I'm going to go ahead. Hello, Kimberly. If I didn't say hello, good evening all. So I just sprayed that with some pixie spray. Let's grab my blending buddy and my stick and stamp mat here. Got one here somewhere. I have a couple that I haven't been very nice with, so I kept, so they're not, here, we'll get a brand new one out tonight. I have a few. So this one's brand new. Keep that to the side. And I will grab my blending buddy. This is one of my original stick and step mats, and I'm not always good about putting all the plastic on it, so sometimes I forget. So we're going to go ahead and put that down first. Sometimes I get to start the blending and I got to remember to get this out because it's just so helpful. So the blending buddy does come with that middle piece. I have it stuck in my corner here, but we're going to go ahead and do this. Oh, Priscilla, you were at the store today. It is an amazing. I got to visit the store in, I'm going to tap this off just a little bit with my hand because it is brand spanking new. Just to take a little bit of the stick off. Isn't that store amazing? I visited in July for the first time. I have lunch bag cardstock. And like I said, I've got some stick and pixie spray on the bottom of that. We're going to go ahead and put that in. I am going to tape it down with some pixie tape just because it is a delicate stencil and I really don't want it to move if I can help it because it will ruin the design. You've lost the cover plate. Well, you can just use a piece of acetate. I don't have this plastic for all of them. when I have the blending buddy comes with this piece as well, and then I usually just stick it on top of that. Matter of fact, there's another stick and stamp mat there. I have a couple of them. A couple that I bought, a couple that I've gotten as gifts. It's such a fun store. I had so much fun. My visit was way too short. So we are going to do some ink blending on a bunch of things today. We're going to use Bee Sting ink. And I am using a blending brush for this just because I find I like the Ranger Dome, but when I use stencils, I tend to like the blending brush. And we're just going to we're going over this lunch bag cardstock. And we're going to go in. Ellen, you could also use just a piece of packaging from your from a stamp set if you don't have any acetate. That would work as well. And if it, you could tape it on, like tape it to the top, and then you could flip it over when you weren't using it, which was actually a good idea for this piece. You could flip it and then flip it upside down with plastic, like purple tape or painter's tape. So you, yes, blending buddies you have to get one. They're my favorite. I need to get the mini blending buddy. I keep forgetting to put that in my cart. And so because I like the mini slim, the one for slim lines, mini slims. And then there's a couple that are, I thought they were still in stock, that were rectangular and square or circles for different sizes, but I do have some of the old simple blends. Those were some of the first products I bought when I started buying Bruce Monroe. So I haven't bought those, but it's definitely helpful to have one. I keep one stick and stamp mat with a blending buddy on it all the time. So that way it's always ready for blending. I have one stick and stamp mat that isn't quite as sticky anymore, but it's a little sticky, that I use for glazes, glitter glazes, things like that, because sometimes the glitter glaze I don't rub off. I don't mind having it not 100% sticky, but it's sticky enough to hold my paper. So that when I glaze, I don't worry about accidentally getting glaze on the sticky part. Oops, got the tape too far over on this one. And then I also have one so that when I want to watercolor, I can watercolor on it and leave it on there, and it tends to dry flat. So they're collecting. You know what, Donna? I haven't had, I can imagine it collecting dog hair. Everything collects dog hair, especially now that I have one. And he is a puppy, but he's becoming a little more lovable. Like he's not a laptop. He's 45 pounds, but in the last week or so, he's been wanting to climb up on our lap. So he comes and he lays on my lap like this, and then he starts kind of putting his leg up, and he can't quite figure it out. So you got to bend down and lift him on your butt, up on his bottom, and pull him on his lap. Hi, Anne Marie. How are you? So we're just going to kind of fill this in because this is going to be our background for our card. And I thought it'd be fun. I'm not going to make it super deep. You could use Game Over, which would be darker, but I think I just want to have this one colored. So we're going to go ahead and here's the fun part, because we need the stencil. I'm not going to clean it off because we're going to use it. So you ready? Look at how fun this stencil is. Isn't that pretty? I love this. I absolutely love this stencil. So now if you haven't used one of these before, the first thing you could do is you could wipe off the edges. Maybe I'll do that quick. And with the blending buddy, you don't need really any cleaner. It just wipes right off, which is nice. And then you bend the stick and step mat back on itself gently and see how it starts to pop off. Yeah, Ellen, that's about is how mine has got to be, at least 45. He's going to have his 1 year checkup. Well, we've had him for just over a year, but December he'll have his checkup. And I'm curious to see what he told me his weight size is. So I am going to go ahead and put my cover on my blending buddy here, because I'm not going to use this for the rest of the blending because everything else I have is smaller. So here's what I said. Here's the center for your blending buddy, and it just fits right in the middle. And then it keeps it clean, and you don't have to worry about this cover. I'm gonna put that off to the side. I'm gonna steal the painter's tape though, or the pixie tape. We got our backgrounds. Next, I went and took the occasional tags set and I cut the pocket and the big tag out of lunch bar cardstock. And I wanted to say, I'm just trying to get stuff out of the way here. I measured this tag and it is from where the score lines, I don't know if you can quite see them, from here to here, it's 2¼ inches. So I also have a very long piece of paper that we're going to use to help make kind of like this is gonna be like a gift tag holder. You can fold this up and you could put this on the inside of your card for if you wanted to, which would be another option. You want the arrow stencil in that set? Yes, that's the Tundra Triangles. It's another beautiful one. I love this one too. And even the Peaceful Pines. Those are all fun ones to have. Because this one can make mountains, but you also can not be mountains on it too. I mean, you can just make big triangles and, you know, you could mask off the diagonal ones, the ones that don't have the pattern, and have just these plain triangles. So this is that. Here's the tag. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to fold these score lines over first because I don't want to ink blend on them. So well, actually, when I'm changed my mind. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to grab some of this tape because I do want it to be flat, and we're just going to go ahead and cover it because the ink then might prevent it from sticking when we make our tag or our little pocket. So I'm just using some pixie tape to hold that down, and we're going to go ahead and stick this down as well. I think I'm going to try to center this straight line right down the middle. Oops. I did not use my grid lines to line up my pocket. I could have done that. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to decorate this. And push it down, make sure it's nice and pressed down. And I thought we would just do this part of the pocket. You could cut it down so it's one pocket. You would have to, I mean, I could tell you the measurements of that. But I'm kind of into Christmas. I mean, Thanksgiving to me is part of the Christmas holiday. Don't get me wrong. But I'm in full Christmas mode. I'm having my first boutique little table. So I've been making gift card holders and watching videos on craft fairs just for fun. Get some inspiration for some ideas on what I can make to have on my table. So, all right, we're going to pull this apart. And now we're going to use this tape. So I'm just going to pull it off, kind of stick it down here. And then now we have a great little pocket. Like I said, if you wanted to fold this over, you could put this on the inside of your card and it would match. You wouldn't even have to use the tag part. We might use the tag part. I think we're going to use the tag part, but I don't know what we're going to do with that part yet of it. See how it fits in there perfectly? But, so, if you wanted to make this, you could actually just do a little bit at the top and cut it off, or you could even use this piece to be your backdrop and put it around. You can do it around the edges, or you can put it on the inside. Does that make sense? So you have this little pocket. I think the tag is a little bit small, so that's why I created this piece that I can attach it to. And then because it's a tag, what I think I'm going to do is we're going to wrap it. I might have to cut it down just a hair instead of put it on like this. We'll see. And then you can just cut it off and have that as a tag. So I do want to do a little bit on this. So we're going to just put this down a little bit. I'm just going to tape this down and just do a little. Let's move this so it doesn't move. We're going to try to see if we can eyeball this to make it kind of in the center so it will match up the pattern. Push it down again. Once we get the ink blending out of the way, we'll get to putting our bear. So now, you guys, I have both cut out. Do you guys want the bear or the penguin? I can put them both together, but which one would you prefer on my on our tags tonight? I do have them both die cut, but I didn't want to use both. I want to use one or the other. Anyone have a preference in what they would like to see first? Okay, so I've got that all done. I'm going to go ahead and put this aside. I will clean it up later because I don't need that anymore. So here is where we've got this little piece. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it down a little bit. The bear. All right, we got one for the bear. I'm just going to line this up so we have it just a little bit. We can always cut it off a little bit more later. Okay, because we're going to use this to put it on the back to make it sturdier. And then I did want to trim it down. You love the bear. I can definitely do the bear. So like I said, I measured this at 2 1/4. We're just going to shift it over a hair. Just not even 1/8 of an inch. Just a hair so that when we wrap it will fit. We will do the bear. I mean, we've got the penguin. We can put them together, but I want them to match. So now I have this red liner tape. This is from Decofoil that a friend of mine gave me. This is the bear and some stockings from last year with the Northern Lights paper. Yes, it's so cute. Let's see, is this too thick for my paper? It might be, this might be too thick. But you know what? It's going to work for us because we're going to back it. So I'm going to go ahead. So that you just, any double-sided tape, you could use liquid glue. I like to use double-sided tape. Let's get our better scissors out here. Even though this is going to be thicker, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to back it with another piece of the paper just to give it some thickness. Because like the video I watched, you could hang this on the tree as a gift. And then you could give them the card. I'm going to go ahead and peel these off. I just happen to have this sitting on my desk, so that's why I'm using this, but any double-sided tape would work. Even the tissue tape we have, I'm out of tissue tape right now. I need to order some, but you probably want the 1/8. Oh, come on. Difficulties peeling it up. I'm having difficulties. So let's burnish that down with an old tool. The things you do for lives, right? Sometimes they don't want to work for us. So I'm just going to push it down at the end of my bone folder, and that should help peel it up. There we go. Once I get the edge of it, I can peel it. But I have found that that's when I was making my gift card holders this past weekend. If I burnished it down with the edge of my bone folder, I tended to be able to pull it up a little easier and leave the tape behind. Of course, this one doesn't want to listen to me. All right, so we've got that. Yes, it is a total disaster. So what I'm going to do is I do need to reinforce these folds. So I'm just going to bend them over on the score lines. I already did those 2. Let's reinforce these quick. Make sure I get it nice and tight. See how this becomes a little, this is the occasional tag holder. Did you cut apart? Yes, I did. I did cut them apart. Where did I just put my die? What I do when they come like this, and I could have waited to do that. I'm sorry, but I pre-die cut. When they come like this, you can't always get them in there. What I do, if you can't get your little snips in there, and mine are too thick, Anne Marie, I am good. You are good. You're good. We're just kind of putting together. I twist it. If you push it and twist it, it's only connected in a couple of spots. If you push it just a little bit, you can usually, go like back and forth like this. It will twist right off, and then you can go in and cut them off. Okay, Ellen? But I did cut apart. I always cut them apart because I do like the shadow layer versus inlaying it, because I can always put it back together and die cut it out if I want by lining it on my table and taping it together. So Anne-Marie, all I did was use the polarizing stencil with some red, Simon Hurley red bee sting ink, and ink blended a panel on some lunch bag cardstock, and now I am, and on this cardstock, this I cut out of the occasional tags to make a tag holder. So here is a card holder. So here I went and got High Love Colors. Here is my Red Robin. So this does fit in here. It's a little snug, but with time it would work. But you also, like I said, you have the tag too. Okay. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue this on the back. And I think I trimmed that little bit off, remember? And that's just going to make it a little bit cleaner and a little nicer on the back end. So I'm going to go ahead and use just some regular old, this is the last of my tissue tape. Oh, you know what, Ellen? Okay, so I've got a little tip for you. I did that with, do you remember when the gnomes came out? I was cutting mine apart, and was doing it in the living room, and I sent one of her little bows flying across. So I have this tiny little thing. I believe you can get one from like an auto parts store, and it extends out, and it's a magnet. So, see? And then maybe you can just reach it behind your desk and go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth till you hear it. Okay? See if that helps. I was going to say, I recommend everyone, plus the fact that when you're sitting at your desk and you drop one on the floor, you just put this under your desk and have it go around till you find it. So you don't have to crawl down there. But it's just like a telescoping magnet. And like I said, I think my boyfriend's dad was a mechanic. So, and I think this might have been his, but he gave it to me. And that's what I use it for. And I just keep it on the top of my desk so that I don't have to worry about it. All right. Okay. See, I am officially out of tissue tape. There's none left. Okay. Well, there you go. Hopefully you can find it. I will be anxious to know if you found it. You can find it. I lost my little Toto stamp from earlier this year, and I was just devastated going, how was I going to find this teeny tiny little Toto? And he fell out, and he was in my bottom of my stamp pockets that are my container that holds. Up there I have all of my like newest releases or upcoming releases, when I have things like that, and I keep them up there. So like I have last month's, I have the Dapper dies, all the patterns. I have all that information in there. I have the Merrymaker event and stuff in there. I think I still have some breakfast buddies in there, and I keep it all my create your own ending stuff is in there, and that's where it fell into. Okay, this is not what I wanted to be fighting with tonight. There we go. Nobody wants to see me fight with tape. Burnish that down a little bit. I hope everyone's having a good week. Get ready for Thanksgiving. I will go live next Wednesday. Not sure if we're doing much for Thanksgiving this year. I think we might just stay home. A couple of the kids have to work, so we might just have a quiet evening at home. So I will be live next week before Thanksgiving. So, all right. So we've got our panel and we've got our little card tag holder. We got to cut it down, but I'm not going to do that yet. See, we got our little tag that we can use in here. Let's get to assembling you could also do an envelope in the corner, but I don't have an envelope. We're going to start with the sentiment because I have it sitting here on top. That'll be fun. A nice Friendsgiving. A lot of times we go out, but like I said, I don't think we're going to go out this year. We haven't really we kind of talked about it, but I think we talked about just being home. Last year we stayed home because we had just had the puppy, and so we cooked. But I know like one of our kids has to work, one of our kids is far away, so we thought maybe we'd just stay home. And that's okay. I'll get some crafting on. We'll watch a movie. We'll probably put Harry Potter on. So there is the sentiment that comes in the set, A Gift for You. I think that's, we may put that on here, but I haven't decided. And now we're going to put our, first I'm going to show you, this is the little bear I made last night with some aqua pigment paper. Look at how cute he is. I was originally going to do this, but I changed my mind. So we're just going to leave this guy to the side and I'll find a project for him later. Let's see. So I've got all my little dies and I've got all my little dies in here, but I think he's going to have some color. This is whitewash cardstock, so it's got just a little bit of flecks in here. It's really hard to see on camera, but it looks like in person, it almost looks like I got some smudges on it. But I wanted to use that so it gives you a little bit of color. Or I mean, not quite white. I'm going to just go ahead and grab my wolf brush here. I do not want... Yay! Awesome. That's awesome, Ellen. Way to go. This is wolf. I don't want a ton of it, so I'm just going to put a little bit on my brush. Oh, thank you. He's adorable. I just put him together. I used a little bit of the sterling powder like I did, sterling aqua pigment like I did last week for his corners. I was kind of playing with it last night during Christopher's live. I really don't have a lot of ink on my brush. I'm just kind of, it's really going to be hard. It's not really, you're not really going to be able to tell too much, but there's just a hint of color. I don't know if it will even pick that up. So we're just going to put a little bit of color on his edges just to give him a little roundy, make him feel a little more round, and not one-dimensional. So I'm not adding a lot of ink to my brush. If you have a very dirty brush, you could go ahead and just use the leftover ink on it. All right. So we've got this one. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add some to this one too. And I'm just doing a swirling pattern. I'm just going like this, just to give them a little color. I mean, you can cut this out of Raven Detail ink, and maybe you could put a little white on the edges just to give them just a tiny bit of white, just to give them some roundness. Or you could use the lunch bag or the harvest. Now, just a little bit of extra color, just to give them some. And I even could pop out his hands here a little bit. I'm going to pull them up a little bit and just do a little bit underneath because there'll be a little bit of a shadow. So yeah, if you didn't want to pop up his hands, you could tape it down behind so his hands didn't pop up, but he is meant to hold the little gift present that came with this, but I have some other things that I can show you he's going to hold. All right, so we've got those things. I am going to go ahead and grab, let's see, this is a stick and stamp mat that doesn't have a ton of stick to it anymore because, like I said, I have not kept it covered, but it's got just enough. And I'm going to go ahead and grab his little nose. So what I did when I die cut out, I have this is the penguin and this is the bear. I put them in separate little containers so I would know. And you can tell by looking at the package. I'm going to make his nose a little dark brown. Even though he'd be mostly white, I do want it to be a little bit darker just to give him some dimension. All right, so there's our wolf. And pull those up. Ooh, I sent stuff flying. Okay, I need a scratch piece of paper here. Because what I found was the easiest way to color his little nose. The twisting tip. I was wondering how to get that out. Yep, I honestly didn't know myself. I'm not sure if that Christopher told me how to do that or what, but that's how I usually don't take them apart until I'm ready to use them. But you know, they're just so tight, so you kind of twist them back and forth. And sometimes the little ones, you just kind of have to go back and forth and back and forth, and it will just kind of pop, and then you can kind of trim off. So this is his little nose and mouth, and I'm not going to ink blend those. I could have die cut them out of Raven ink, but I just was cutting everything out of white, and I'm just going to use my black Copic marker. And we're going to go ahead and just grab my pick tool here, and we're just going to color them black. And I'm just, you don't even really, you can just dab it really. And that is the fastest way to color those. And we're going to do the same thing with his eyes here in a minute. So got his, there's one, and his little eyeballs. The penguin has two eye, like when you look at the eyeballs, the bigger eyeballs, those are for the penguin. And they have like an indentation, and then there's a small eyes that get colored. What I found easiest to do, there's some little pieces of the centers of the snowflakes here, is to just color it black and not worry about the pupil until you put your thing together. Hello, Heather. How are you? We're putting together our bear. So this is kind of nice because you can actually put your pick tool right in his little pupil part and hold it, and then you can go around, and that helps, you know, without putting another one. Anne Marie, I totally understand. Mine came on Monday and I was just ready. And I opened it briefly at lunch, looked through it all, and then I ate my lunch because I get an hour lunch break. And then I had some time, so then I kind of went through it. You know what, Ellen, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then I got home and played with, I put it away last night and kind of put it in my pouches and stuff while I was watching Christopher's Live. Now, this was the fun part. So I did get the tea stain with my merrymaking kit. I love this little red, but instead of like spraying it directly on, I'm just going to take a little bit and spritz it on my mat. I don't need a lot. And I'm going to take his little tiny berry cheeks, or his little ears. We got 4 of them here, and we're just going to paint them. And we'll let them dry before we start putting them together. I cut all these little snowflakes out because I wasn't going to sure. Oh no, did we lose one of his ears? I did. I lost one of his ears. We'll have to find it. It might be stuck in the dye. All right, this one doesn't want to cooperate, so I'm just going to dab it in there and turn it upside down. This is where tweezers helps. I know this bear is adorable. Everyone, there was a consensus for me to use the bear tonight, so that's what we did instead of the penguin. I did cut the penguin out, but we're just going to use the bear tonight. All right, so then I'm going to pick up this one, and it's on my little thing, so I'm just going to dab it, grab it with my tweezers, and stick it down because they're upside down in my little bin. So instead of fighting with it, oops, that is sometimes, and then I'm not using very much, so it dries really fast. Of course, now this one is cooperating. So let's quick look and see if I can find his other little ear. Not sure what happened to it. I'm just going to grab my little paintbrush here and dab it in, and we're going to just dab it quick on his. Now you could spray a piece of cardstock quick and then just die cut them out. I just cut them out ahead of time because I didn't want you to have to sit here and look at me die cutting. I'll find his little earpiece. It's here somewhere. You just squirted some shimmer mist. She used through a stencil. Pearl. Oh yeah, pearl. I got pearl embossing pigment here, and I got the shimmer mist here. I don't know how many bottles of shimmer. It's my favorite. All right. So let's get this guy put together. And then I'm going to show you what I thought we could put in them. Adhesive sticks are your trick. Yep, those work too. I just tend to use glue a lot. I forget about all that other stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just eyeballing it where his nose is going to go. Because, you know, he's cartoony. He almost, the darkness of this one almost makes him look like a koala bear. That's kind of funny. You could make him a koala bear. And then I just dabbed on a little glue, kind of where his face will go, kind of where his nose goes. Once you start putting the pieces in, he's just adorable. You know, I mean, it's funny. You wouldn't think so, but he just, oh, he comes just to life. I just think he's so cute. And then I found that if I put my eyeballs in first, then I can put my cheeks in. Because, you know, I can't, you know me, I always tell you, can't draw a straight line from with a ruler. There's a little piece of fuzz on that one. I found that it's and you wouldn't have to put the cheeks on. You wouldn't if you're not a cheek girl. But and then of course his eyeballs look a little wonky, so I'm just gonna use my pick stick to kind of move them up before it dries. Just so they look a little bit like that. There you go. Oh, Heather, it's so fun to talk to you guys too. And now that you know, it's just who was here? I gotta scroll up here. Give me just a second. Was it Priscilla? She said she was at the store today. Thought that was kind of fun. So now I'm just gonna add a little bit of cheekies. Like I said, you could leave them out. You could color them with a Copic and just kind of put them in, or a little bit of the tea stain and just kind of dab it on. But I think it's fun to kind of add this extra little dimension to him. Guess it doesn't have to be perfect. I always find if I make a mistake on something, there's somebody in my family who's gonna love it anyway. Yes. So yes, they are. Look at how cute he is. And you can see that little bit of dimension he has on his corners by adding that little bit of woof to his ears. He looks a little dirty now, but just a tiny bit. I'm actually even thinking for some reason my blush is because that one looks a little pink. And then I'm just going to pick up his ears. I mean, even look at the difference between this. You know, look at his difference in the bears with the ears. Isn't that cute? And of course, I'm missing the one ear. So we'll have to add that later. I'm not gonna have you guys mess with me looking for that right now. We'll fix his ear later. It might be in his die cut. Okay, so we've got that. Now this is where I think you can have some fun. Let us quickly move some stuff around because I have ink on here. I want to wipe that up before I get messy on anything else. Now, he's meant to hold that little, oh, we got his, I totally forgot I didn't add his scarf. Okay, do we want a red scarf or do we want a green scarf? You guys think about that for a minute. And I'm going to get his present put together here. Oh, okay. Yep, the advent calendar. Christopher's going to send out an email for it. Okay. I want to sit in and watch. I didn't get an advent calendar this year, but I'd like to sit in and watch. If I'm available. Just kidding. I never know. Oh, I just like watching. Sometimes that's what I like. I watch old classes that I've been involved in, even if I'm not making the stuff, and old virtual events while I'm crafting, because it's something I've already seen and already made, and it keeps me entertained without having me stop and watch. Green for color, green for color. All right, we're gonna go with green. I did cut green out for each. We're gonna have a red present, and I do have a green bow. All right, let me grab my little tool here, and I'm just gonna go. So this is the little present. It's got a little lid that you can add, so you can just kind of see that. It's hard to see on camera. Sorry. Try to get a little closer. I don't know if it will focus on it. There you go. And then there's the little bow. And what I found to help with the bow is to try to match it up with the bottom and the sides. And of course, you don't need to have glue on the top of the bow until you glue it down. And then if you get a little extra glue, you can just dab it with your fingers. But then you've got this little present. And the little present fits right in his hands. But I went through and the occasional tag set. Let me pull that out here. I have it sitting here somewhere. Look at all the fun things you can do with this. there is a 4-leaf clover and a heart and a pumpkin and a wreath and another present and a candle and an Easter egg. So you can have him, these little guys hold all sorts of things. So here's the little wreath. Look at it fits. It fits in there. Look at how cute that is. There's the wreath. And I die cut a bunch of them out. Here's the balloon. So he can hold a balloon. And if you have any of the tier tray dies, here's the little Christmas tree from the tier tray. I'll put my fingers out of the way. So I just wanted you guys to go through your dies and look. And there's actually, in both sets, have a candy cane that you could put in their hands too. And I did cut them out. So go through your dies and check them and see what they have. I'm not even sure. If you got the January inspiration box, you could stamp and die cut one of those donuts out, put the donut in there. So there are all sorts of things that they can hold on to. So I just wanted you guys to know, so you can make a bear for all seasons. And I even cut out, this is one that came with the occasional tags. Look at how cute that is with the heart. But you know, we all have different little dies in our stash anymore. Go through and look and see what they can hold. And you can make them. Look at how cute he is. I totally forgot to do that last night in my other bear. I'll have to add a scarf. I'll add a red scarf to him. So I'm gonna put a present in one of these guys. That's what we're playing with tonight, Anne Marie, is the die of the month. I thought as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to get it. I almost called and said, "Did you ship it yet? Did you ship it?" Just kidding. I would never do that. But I was like, I so couldn't wait to play with it. So I was gone on crafty weekend, and when I got back, I saw that it shipped on Friday, and I was so excited. I knew it would be here on Monday, and it was. All right, so I'm gonna stick this down so he's kind of holding that present. We got to put his wreath thing on him too. But I thought I would go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead. This one's from the occasional tags. I think I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna use this candy cane because he's a little chunkier. So I'm going to go ahead and pop out all the center pieces. I could have done it the other way, but I'd already glued it down. So I used some pixie tape on the back to hold the pieces in place. And I'm going to go ahead and, so this is where some dots would be perfect. The dots from Thermoweb. Can't think of what they're called right now. The sticky dots, which I have some somewhere here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that together. So that's how I made it. This one, okay, it doesn't have a back piece. So that's why when I cut it out, I was very careful to keep it on. Like I said, glued those pieces in place so he can have this fun candy cane in his hand. Now, the one that came with the Zots, okay. Are they called Zots too? I don't know what they're called. I just know them as sticky dots. I know there's Zots. I'm talking about the ones on the paper. I think those are sticky dots. Zots, but I'm not sure. I don't know what they are. I got one from a crafty retreat and I haven't gotten any since, so I don't have a package of them. I can't tell you guys that for sure, but I know they're little sticky dots. So there we go. We got to glue this guy down. Thanks, Heather, for the links. One of these days I'll have a computer so I can actually have some links pulled up and post them. But all right. So there we go. We've got our little two bears. One's missing our ear thingy. Sticky dots. The candy cane from the tier tray add-on set does have the little backer piece, so you can cut two. And I'll show you what that one looks like. Yeah, sticky dots adhesive sheets. So there's that one. So you can have it, and it could be layered. So that one's cute too. I'll save him and put him with the penguin. But I wanted to show you, I pulled that out. This is just the regular one, but he can hold, there's the bell, you can hold the gnome, the snowflake, the ornaments. You could go around to the side, he could hold the cat, and this is the Halloween tier tray. So if you have those, pull those out, check and see and then go through your dies and see what other dies, a little leaf, whatever. So, all right, let's get this put together. There's lots of little dies on the market anymore that we kind of, sometimes we get them as free gifts, and you can go ahead and use those. So I've been going a deep dive through my stash for stuff I had that hasn't seen ink, and I've had it for like, since like 2000, 2007. Shh, don't tell anybody I have stuff that hasn't ever seen ink. And trying to figure out ways to use some of that stuff or get rid of it. I'm going to cut this panel down a little bit. I'm going to cut it off on each side. I'm going to probably cut it to 4 because I am going to put it on a white card base so that the bear, and then 5 1/4. Cut off a little off the top, a little off the bottom. There we go. All right, so that it ties in with our, I do have this, but I don't know if that's what we're going to use on the card. Excuse me a second. I got to stand up and grab a card base. This is one of the pre-cut card bases. I think it's the top folding one. I think this is one. I have some somewhere. Anyway, I love the pre-cut card bases. Let's see. I don't want this. I don't think they're top folding ones. I don't use a lot of those. Let me grab one of the good ones. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Here we go. This is the pre-cut, pre-scored ones. I love them. I buy a ton of them. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. I don't have any tape in my ATG gun today, so we're going to use glue. I think we're going to use that tag maybe on here. So we've got this little a gift for you. Now this is where you could decide what you want to do. Instead of putting the gift for you on the front of this, I'm going to use this on my card, and we're going to glue our little bear on here. And I think we're going to use this one on here. Look at how cute he is. And then, like I said, we could actually use this on here, but I don't want to cover that up. You can stick your little gift card holder. We got to finalize that, but let's get these guys glued on. We're going to glue him down. I went through my stash because I was going to originally use a really big sentiment on this, but I think I'm going to maybe use this gift to you. I haven't decided yet. We're going to stick him down right at the very bottom of our card. And what I'm going to do is I do want it to kind of look like a tag. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to worry about it. You could measure. And I think I was reading someone that said like an inch. I'll show you. 1/2 inch in. So I'm using my little spot here. So it's one. We're going to put a little line here, and then 1/2 inch down. Am I on the straight? Make sure I'm on the straight. And we're just going to cut. And then, if you're not a good eyeballer like I am, you could take this corner, flip it around on this side so it's upside down. See how that's upside down? And you put it right in that corner and hold it. And then when you clip it this way, see? It's close. It might not be perfect. I think I cut it a little low, but it's close enough. Might just trim just a hair more because I think I trimmed it just a little short. So that is one way you could do that, so that you could. And then we need to punch a hole in it. Now let's see if I have anything handy that punch my hole in it. Where's my crocodile? I don't know. I'm going to punch my hole after. My dress? Oh, you know what? It is kind of a dress. It's actually a shirt that's long enough for a dress. Thank you. I got it at my Dollar General, if you can believe that. I have one in black and one in white, but I love them. That was back when they used to carry clothes. I used to go through their clothes section when they would clearance stuff out. So here, we've got this a gift for you. Like I said, we could put I'm going to put a 2 in front on the back. Actually, you know what? I think I am going to put this on the back. I'm going to put it up here to help disguise this little bit because I didn't cut it long enough for this. I'm going to disguise this with my gift to you. And then I'm going to find a to from stamp, or I'll write a to from stamp on the back. So we're going to disguise this up a little bit. Just going to put it on right here. Just enough so I can poke my hole in it. And like I said, I don't have a hole punch handy. I don't use them that often, so. And then I'll put some trim, but then I can put to from and put their names on it right here. Because what I think I want to do is I actually think we're going to, I don't want to use the tag. We mean, like I said, the tag can fit in here, or you could put this in here. I'm going to go ahead. I want to use, this is an old stamp set. It's called Seasonal Sentiments. It came out, I don't know, but I just want to use this big Merry Christmas. So, you know, I like big Christmas stamps. I lost one out of here for a long time ago, and it took me forever to find it. I was so sad because I didn't know what to do, and then I found it. See, it just fell out. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that on some craft cardstock. We're going to just go through. I store all my craft cardstock in these job pocket folders that I get from Amazon. And then I put my cardstock in the front, and then I stick my little extra pieces in the back, and it keeps them from turning. I got this big circle that's left over from something. I think this was from a couple lives ago when we made that wreath. This was the center. Gotta grab my Misty here. And we're gonna stamp this in. Let's anti-static powder tool. We're gonna stamp this in some white. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stick it right in the middle, I think. Maybe off to the side a little bit so we can cover that up. All right. We're going to stamp this in, and my favorite way of stamping white embossing powder is to use alabaster pigment ink. We're going to stamp it down a couple of times to get a nice, because with sentiments, I don't like to push and get it all squishy. I'm going to push it off to the side here. It's a little firmer on my desk. I've been thinking about taking my feet off of my magnetic mat so it's flat on my desktop. So I get a little bit more firmness. All right. And then, sorry, I'm going to do this one more time just because I don't feel like I'm not pushing hard enough. I'm scared to. I tend to push, I get overzealous when I push down on mine. And we're going to grab our alabaster. I have all of my embossing powders in little tubes. You can tell I like alabaster. A bunch of them in here. I have a mess. I have a mess on my desk. You guys should see this crafter math. I'm just going to let it sit for a minute. Pull it off. Okay. Merry Christmas. Oh, so excited. I have not really broken down and listened to Christmas music yet. I've been putting that off, but I am so ready. It was 60 some degrees today too. Oh my, Love Colors, it is the dye of the month. So just in case, just so you know, in case it would sell out, I would get it if you want to soon. It's the dye of the month under the subscription products. Just because I know Christopher's going to use it tomorrow night, and as people start to see it, it might go kind of quickly. If you can, I would recommend not waiting. My girls' weekend was fabulous. Thank you for asking. All right, so we heat set that. I got so much done. I had worked all weekend a couple weekends ago to make like 50,000 backgrounds of some birthday stamps. I just let this cool a little bit before I wipe it off with the extra anti-static powder tool. And I finished all those cards. Puffs, it does. That's the oh, I can't remember what Blizzard? It's called Blizzard, right? That would be fun. I should order that. Because I love embossing powders, and puff and glitters is even better than just regular puff. So we've got this cute little bear. We're gonna just let it kind of go off to the side here a little bit. Maybe we'll do it like this, and then we'll add some snowflakes. Cut that off. I think it's called Blizzard, the embossing powder of the month, if I remember correctly. Is that correct? Blizzard. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay, I thought I saw that today when I was looking for some stuff. So I know it's going to lay off a little bit. I'm okay with that. If I thought about it, I might have put it on this piece and cut down, but I'm okay with it on the side. I just want to make sure my S is going to be completely covered on the, or completely on my card base. And then we're going to go ahead and glue this puppy down. It's not puppy, but you know what I mean. And I didn't glue his hands all the way down because I think that's kind of a fun element to have his hands sticking up. I think I might do it at a little bit of an angle. We'd still do it at his little ear there. There we go. So we're gonna let that dry for a minute. Let's add some of these cute snowflakes. These snowflakes came from the Die of the Month set. I thought they would be fun. I think what I'm gonna do, I think I'm just gonna put some glue right here and tap it in there. Like this. We'll add a few snowflakes. Now, if I had thought about it, I would have done this out of the glitter stock, the white glitter stock. But I was die cutting. This is, like I said, the whitewash cardstock. We're going to use these 3 on this one. We'll add a little bling too, and we'll add these 3 on this one. I don't care so much if I just want the little bit of I just want the center to have the glow. And then we'll grab one of these puppies, this puppy, little puppy, and we'll stick him down here. Awesome. There we go. So like I said, we got to find another. I don't think this isn't his ear. This is the center of a snowflake. So I'll have to find his ear and put that on his inside of his ear, but that's okay. So we've got these cards now. I think we need a little bit of bling. So we're going to go over here and grab, this one is the neutrals. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the iridescent. No, we're going to grab these ones. We'll throw these in this little bin here. See if we can find some of this. This one's, maybe even not. Let's grab a jewel thing. There we go. We'll pull a bunch of those out. And we'll add a little bit of bling to the centers of our snowflakes. I'm going to go ahead and put a lot in this one. We'll put the big ones in that one. And then we'll call it a good evening. All right. So, got that one. This is the smaller ones. So I'm just kind of picking like the medium-sized ones for the center of my snowflakes that have the hole. I'm trying to find the little bit smaller ones for these little ones here. They're not teeny tiny. Some of them have some teeny tiny ones. These ones aren't quite that teeny tiny. And then put that one there. Oh, I might need a little bit more glue in that one. So we ate too much on the girls' weekend. We had so much fun. We laughed. I stayed up way too late. My back is still killing me from working so hard. I've never worked so hard in my life. One of the girls, she made 40 cards in the first 2 days. She was so excited about that. I mean, a couple people who don't always get things done, and I don't mean that in a negative way. They just were like, oh my gosh, look at how much I got done. I was like, so proud of you. I usually get a little bit done, but I tend to peter out and look through people's stashes and say, how fun. I created lots of little bits and pieces. I need to decorate and finish. I have like gift card holders and things like that that need to be extra fun on them, the decorations. So there we go, you guys. Like I said, I don't have an envelope handy. Otherwise, I would grab maybe a craft cardstock type, this is lunch bag, but that color or even a red one would work with the red on it so it would match. We've got our gift card holder or a tag if you really wanted to for a gift. Like I said, it was tight to start, but if you practice with just putting one in and out, it will front. I wouldn't push it in probably all the way because it is a little deep for that. But and I do need to put a hole in it and stick that, and then you could, like I said, you could hang that on your tree. And then I've got a card, and I also said, like I said, this piece could go on the inside. So from the occasional tags, and then you would have that for a gift card holder if you did not want to have separate. So I hope you guys, it is 8 o'clock, enjoyed and you have fun. Thank you so much. I will see you next week. I love how these were designed too. They're just so cute. And like I said, I've got all the little pieces here for look at how cute this penguin is. We didn't even do you guys want me to put them together quick? Should I put them together quick? Can we go over just a little bit? Should I put them together quick? Here. Okay, so we can put it together really quick if you want me to. So what I would do is maybe make the base, but I'm going to go ahead and tape it together. Okay, we'll put them together real quick. So I cut them out of the Raven ink, or Raven cardstock, and the whitewash. And I'm going to very carefully tape them together. I don't want to tape the arms down like I just did on this side because you want to be able to put them in. But I'm going to tape it. This is just how I want to do it. When you glue it down, it will be fine. But it will be easier to tape it together first so that you can kind of play with it. Okay, so this piece needs to be put together, but because it's loose, but see how it is? We'll do that quick. All right, so there's that. We've got these little eyeballs, and I will tell you, if you are having difficulties, go ahead and look. It tells you all the little pieces. If you look here, the eyeballs, the beak, the eye pieces for this, and these ones over here for the bear. And then you can go on here and see what they look like. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to glue this down. Should have probably put that on we can go over just a teeny bit, right? And there's just a teeny bit of an indentation in the eyeball. I don't know if you can see that. So that tells you which eye to use, which side to use. I'm going to go ahead and put one down on each side. This is the first time I'm putting it together, so you're watching me live craft and see how easy it is. You could put the face together and then glue it down without having to glue it together like I did there, but I wanted to. So here is where, again, oh, you know what we didn't do? I didn't add the eyeballs. Let's quick do that to our bear. I'm just going to grab that and we're going to just add a little white dot. We got to do that, right? Make our bear look right. Sorry about that, you guys. I almost forgot. And it does help. You can put them in so that the little indentations are in the same spot. If I don't, I just put the dots. Okay, this one needs a little bit. Look at how great that looks now. They're even better. He's even better. Okay. All right, so now we need to quickly, now I found with the eyeballs, I can't pick it up. Of course, it's dry. I have dry skin. There's a little spot you can just poke out, I believe. Like I said, this is the first time I'm using it. Teeny tiny little piece, and it pokes out. So when I color this black, it will just show the white underneath, which is great. So I lost my scratch paper, you guys. We'll just do it on this little piece here. We'll grab this one and poke him out. And we got to do the beak quick, and then he's put together. So I'm just going to poke out the pupil, and leave that without putting anything on it, and go ahead and grab my black pen. Sorry if I'm off camera a little bit. I'm just going to dab it like I did before, quick. Because I don't want to get this on and we'll never find it to clean it off. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add some white to this guy. I wasn't sure which one you guys would want to use, so I didn't want to put either of them together. And then you can just use that little white piece to the little indentation to line up your eyeballs. And then, oops, I think I did that wrong. No, I didn't. He just is oozing out some, it's just oozing out the front for a little bit, so it looks a little weird. And then I got to color his beak here quick. And I'm just going to, once again, it's this teeny tiny piece. I know I'm a little off camera here. I'm just going to grab a marker and just quick color it. And we'll add his little beak. And we're going to put on a scarf and we'll call him good. I'm not going to put anything in his hands right now. We'll figure that out later, but I'll show you. There's his little beak. And where are my little scarfies? You could add a little shading around the white if you wanted to. Look at how cute he is. Oh, my pokey tool, this one? This one's from Tailored Expressions. I have several, and it just happened to be I was there last year at Stamp Joy. Christopher was there, and she introduced it, so I got it. So there, look at how cute he is. He's so cute. So like I said, it needs to be glued down, and then he can hold things too. Here's the things like that, but I don't have him glued down. I did that very quickly. So, all right, you guys, well, I'm going to sign off for tonight and get myself cleaned up. And next week, we'll probably play with the stamp of the month. I haven't decided quite yet. Or maybe some of the traditional trimmings box. I've got that in the mail too. So, okay, the tea stains are great for antiquing papers, especially the Music Street stamp or the Overdue stamp. I have to do those this weekend. I'm going to play with them. Thank you, you guys. You guys have a great evening, and check out the Arctic release. I know that the Arctic Pal, if you don't get the inspiration box, the Arctic Pals, there was limited status left on some of the bundles. So check those out, you guys, and have a great evening. Great rest of your week. Good night.